Some days you're just up at midnight and ready to shape. Shape. I'm gonna build this. Because this sucks. Let's take care of that. 40,000 of those don't sound like a big deal. That sounds easy. So over here we have... No, over here we have... No, it's over here. Yeah, it is. If I add some red paint, we can start pumping those out real quick. How do I do that? Well, here's the paint. Gotta be careful not to delete the art, but all of this can be retooled, I think, so I can go ahead and delete all that. Without deleting the spinner. Yes. I want to mix red and blue, and then these will be incoming to be painted purple. And I'll have 2 lanes of these heading on up here. One goes up, one goes down. That's going to require some changes too. That's alright. Start with this. This is just one mix. Purple's a pretty easy color. Haven't had to deal with anything but white paint for a while. It's been a pain. Nothing special about them stingrays in terms of things I care about overwriting. I'll probably be playing Mario Maker here in a bit. Maybe doing some stream layouts. Tuesday's my, what I want to call my day off. so I'll be using it to work, of course. It would appear that I need 3 tiles of space to make this connect. Actually, it's just 2. What I had done is this. That's fine. Up the waste space. Okay, there's purple paint. No, screw that. Oh, I could do that, I guess. Get rid of the grind by playing Mario Maker instead of the... Maybe I can do that. I'm not sure about that. Yo, Author Blues. You're up late. How was Star Wars? Oh, I do have 4 lines of purple. I was thinking that I didn't for some reason.
What's this?
Just shapes. I'm making shapes. Here's my factory. These spinners, I feel like they give the machine the morale it needs to really pump these shapes in here at a speed that which I can approve of. I'm currently crafting this. So we gotta make ourselves purple pinwheel, drop a white circle on it, and then drop another pinwheel. That's the ticket. And I have just mixed the paint. I already have the pinwheel shape crafted from earlier pinwheel crafting. We can't have that asymmetry here. Can't have it. For the moment, I think I'm going to have 2 lanes of these because merging them may create me a problem. Not sure. So we have a double painter. What I want to do is do this up here. No. I can't rotate this, so the paint actually needs to just heckin' come down here.
It's been telling me to share my 36-month anniversary for almost a month, but it's never let me actually post a message. Let's see if it works this time.
It worked. Congratulations. Okay, it is. I was wondering if this was functioning. It is indeed. Throwing those away. So that works. Play it? What is... what?
A witcher, hide your women.
Hold on, these... I don't have a play it set. I'm sorry. I actually ordered a Stream Deck XL. I finally went in on that, so I'm gonna have some easier sampling times. Expensive, if you're not familiar with that, it's a keyboard with hotkeys, basically, but it's a smart keyboard with hotkeys. It's expensive. I mean, it's expensive for a reason, though. I researched it before I went in on a $200 device. I feel like I at least have a reason to buy something like that. So I'll be messing with that toy on Friday. Alright, what was I doing? I was doing something. Let me see. The paint's all coming out here, which is great. So, I mean, we could just drive those two lines in here, but I would prefer to do this and split each lane into two for a couple reasons. Let's actually drive this paint into a new lane as well. All right. So we have two sets here. If I need more space, I've certainly got it, so. If I don't feel like I'm making enough purple pinwheels, which, you know what, I'm not really making enough of those. That's not really great. I think I'm gonna go ahead and say that that's not good enough. We can do way more than that. I want to use this space to generate a whole bunch. Let's say, starting here, that's 3. That's 4. Is 1, 2, 3. Yeah. How does this work? It's not as simple as all that. I have to worry about entry points here. Start with the outside. That works. No, it doesn't. This is in the way still. Hmm. How can I steer this where I want it to go? Well, I think the problem here is this. This isn't really okay. This thing needs to just go at the moment. We're going to be dealing with that in a second. This is probably going to be this, and this one's going to go down here with this fella. That lets me, I need to just move these all down some, I think. Yeah, that did it. That's all I needed to do. Yeah, that works. This is pretty tight, but it reaches. Pretty severe. I'm missing one paint here for some reason. What did I do? There's 5. How do I split this into 5 evenly? I don't think I do. Not without doing something silly like that. Let's just do something silly like that. Whatever. We'll see if it jams up or not. I'm gonna start these going. Copying this seems like a disaster, but you know what? Fuck it. Let's just do it. Because at the end of the day, all I have to do is line one line up here and I've got it. Actually, It needs to be here. Does that make you produce the stars? It does. Incredible. Well, I'll tell you. The only mistake I see is that this is going the wrong lines. We need to turn this on its head. Yeah. I'm generating so many of those. I knew it would be fast because I'd already built most of this. So there we have the only thing that needs to happen here is I need half of these. It's a little confusing because it's a mess up here, but I need half of these to be... Oh, you could just hold control when you draw on the thing and it deletes it? Amazing. I just accidentally found a shortcut that I didn't know about. I need to make half of these go over the circle, not under. I just see that this is not connected. Those are being wasted. These are also being wasted. No, they're not. So it should be... This just needs redesigned a little bit, that's all. Let's do these one at a time so I don't get mixed up. These ones warp up here. And these ones just go right here. And that's gonna put the, yeah, that's gonna put that below. Any other mergers? Here. There those go. I need to find every merger like this and flip them. They're all upside down, that's all. That's it. I mean, that's all. And then once I get those moving, I can start over here taking this shape. I need to do that here. All of this is going to make these into these correct ones, which isn't done yet here. I don't really need to delete the merger. I need to delete the lines coming in. Another one done. It's interesting because it's actually simpler than what I was doing because I don't need these teleports because they are the correct orientation now coming in. So I just need to... Wish I could highlight all the mergers. That's really all I need. It's just... What's with this line? Where does this go to? I don't understand why I have that. Where are those circles being fed in from? Here. What am I gonna do with these circles? They're being wasted. Seems like I can just go ahead and merge this way as well. Are there any mergers that are creating the wrong shape still? No, I don't think so. Are they all working? They sure look like it. I'm just gonna go ahead and take half of these back. Because there's a better way to do it, but this is just overflowing and that one's not, so maybe I can repair that a little bit. This line, I'm not really interested in merging with this line. I guess I don't have a great reason to interrupt that one, but like, I'm actually gonna pull because I'm going to start using this line to merge the final merge, because these are not the shape I'm looking for. It's close, but it's not there. We want the pinwheel to be up top, right? So Okay, now the problem is getting these up there. Which isn't really a problem, it just needs to be a bit more wisely done, right? Yeah. That's the shape. That's one. How the hell am I gonna get this there, though? There's not really a way to create too much opening here without moving this entire thing forward some. I could do that. This is easy enough. It only gets complicated on the final one, which I'm not going to, I'm gonna skip perfectly legitimate merger. I probably should move them all forward a bit. That would fix this. Let me get rid of these teleporters so I can see what the hell I'm doing. These tunnels. We don't need that one. All right, so we don't really need these teleporters either. Let me see here. That one goes there. Because I've given myself so much room, I don't really need tunnels anymore. At all. You can probably fit them all with belts. Maybe. At least the first 3. And I only need one more, and he can definitely teleport. So, yeah. Those shapes are coming in. So that's now being limited by the number of these that I'm crafting. Which looks like piping off this half has made this half overflow. So I have options here on, I can either make more of these, this, or borrow from this. I think it makes more sense to merge these 2 lanes. Try and keep them even. At this point, they're even, and then we'll see what happens now. But I can certainly make more of those if I need to. There's so many of those getting done up top and not enough merging here. For some reason, the 2 in the center are gaining, so the other ones should start overflowing now, but I can increase this here. I still see a bit of an excess on this lane. I think there's more merging happening here than up there. I think these 6. There's probably not that many over here. Yeah, I think there's only 5. Let's take this lane here and just... It seems like the lane's actually overloaded a little bit. Copying this gruesome facility again here. I'm going to create more of these. I'm just going to make more. I want an entire other... Yeah, let's do it. Really gonna be pulling hard on this here in a second. But for now. We'll get them all making something, and then I'm gonna alleviate the incredible burden I'm about to place on these suckers. Where are those pinwheels going? Because I could use some more. They're going to nonsense. I can just borrow these, paint them purple, and immediately get some pressure relieved. Because this is done. We are completely done with this yellow and orange bread thing. So yeah, what I've... Oh, I'm not even using these very quickly. Yeah, there's just so many. They're being wasted. All right. Oh, that's the wrong color. I need blue, not green. Crap, where's blue? What a mistake. I could just leave those teleporters in place though. Just gotta pipe those lines up here. Purple's ready now, surely. Once the green empties. I'm gonna bring these down and paint them. That'll make 4. I wish you could rotate these in a more useful manner than they are. Okay, so I think what I'm actually going to do is have this down here. We're going to Okay. This is functional. Now what? Now we feed this lane here because that one's suffering. Does that fix it? Is that enough? We probably have enough of these coming in to satisfy even more if I want. I've already generated 7,000 of these before I even did that, so they're really going to start flying in here. There's a mistake, but I think it's fixed because I ran out of yellow paint. I think that was a mistake, so that's solved. Is this jamming? Oh shit, we broke a line here. We almost played Skyrim Monday, but I was exhausted. It mostly comes down to me and Maddie not having very good schedules. But that probably is going to happen soon. Actually, just by pure coincidence, we're opening up our schedule better. I would like to pipe in a second line. Oh my, jeez, this is so backed up here. I'm going to have, like, there's not really a reason to do it that way when I can just drive this here. We can just push these together and remove some of the backup. Maybe if I do that enough, this will start moving better. Where were these supposed to go? I'm looking for things that are not, either not loaded like this one, just barely working, or not moving at all. This one is just not getting enough. I'm going to take this one and merge it as well because it's just, I feel like there's too much up top and there's not enough down bottom for whatever kind of crazy demand I've put on this lane right here. And I think I can go ahead and copy this malarkey and get a second lane of stars going, because we could use it. Yeah, sure can. No problem. As long as these all have one exit point, it's all good. there's that. Now I need blue on the lanes and red on the, well, either way, blue on the left and red on the right, or whatever, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, I need to bring blue into each of these. And then I'll have another whole mess. I'm going to drop these on up here. Seems like a fine place to drop in the boys. I mean, they seem useful to me. I don't know. Don't they just give you... They just make it so you don't have to draw a bunch of mergers. I mean, otherwise they're effectively the same thing, because the mergers don't take any time, do they? Yeah, the mergers... The distributors, I guess, is what they're called. They move at the same speed as the belt, so... The only reason why you have these at all is that it just makes it less complicated to not have to merge all the extractors to the same place. I don't see why else you would care about them. In fact, I think I should drag these all the way over here, because we're not exactly using them here yet. Now they're gonna go down both lanes. That's probably good. I'm probably generating enough of these that I don't need to really think about them anymore. They're probably gonna finish. This is all looking pretty efficient. It's not perfect. There's just not enough going on up here. We're not making enough, of this step up here, it looks like. I think I borrowed too many from this lane. It seems like one-sided now. That's what I was thinking would happen. This one's mostly empty and this one's completely not, so... I mean, at the end of the day, the only thing that matters really is this. I mean, you do a whole lot better than that. For some reason, these look different, but they are not. They look like they're the same exact shape, so... Am I wrong? Wish I could... There is this. This is wrong. That's what it is. Where's that star coming from? That star is incorrect. It's these. These are not the pinwheel. That's the mistake I've made. Heck. So this whole generation is I've just misread. Damn. Pinwheels are much harder to make than stars. I just borrowed stars and they're not right. That's not doing anything for me, so I need to replace those with pinwheels. Which is a process. It's not an easy thing to do. I also need to find that shape in the first place. Which is, that just doesn't exist, unfortunately. Like, it's just, you have to go so far away from the base to even see any piece of it. So it's kind of really a bad mistake to make that's gonna slow me down a lot here. Trying to fix that. Bad stars need replaced with good pinwheels. There's one. So I have a pinwheel machine. Crafts them over here. That's what I need to copy. This train wreck of a thing. Actually, is that as good as it can be? I mean, I guess it is. I have a better one here. This will generate one pinwheel. The only concern really is that I moved the trash cans to delete the wrong piece, which is different here than it is over there. So these are all incorrect, so it's making circles. So I need to figure out which one is actually the pinwheel piece, which is this, probably the third one. If I had to guess. It's the fourth one. So all of this is wrong. I'll just rebuild that part manually. Okay, so we got this. Now what I need to do is rotate once, twice. That'll be the slow one, unfortunately. And that's all of it. What do you mean, same quarter piece? It's the pinwheel piece. It might not look like it, but it's always. It just needs rotated. That creates this dumbass shape that I hate. This awful thing. Now, let's copy this again, because it's just not enough generation for me to be satisfied with. And all I gotta do now is link up those lines. Probably a better way to do this. I'm using them all. I'm one short on perfection, so I just need to make sure that the one that does the crappy cut goes to the right place. The one that only gets 3 needs to go to one of the easy ones that doesn't rotate at all, preferably, and then they won't slow down. So that's what I did. Okay, now we have 2 of these. Cutting still is pretty slow, so this lane's not gonna flood exactly. The damn bad stars, I'm on my way. Okay, the stars have been replaced with actually useful objects. Rotations aren't instant. 16 per second. They're slower than the belts by quite a bit. Rotating is this. And it's at X8, so we're losing some time on the rotator. This is jammed, I don't know why. It's because this got disconnected. There it goes. Man, that's just not very many pinwheels at all. Damn mergers, they're so slow. I can't speed this up any. There's just like no way we're gonna make enough of these to make everything I made worthwhile down here. They look correct. I don't see anything wrong with any of them. And if that's the output I'm putting out, I mean, I can just hit this and check, I guess. This is what I'm trying to make. The stars one is wrong. We're getting 336 a minute, which is pretty lousy. But in like half an hour, I'll be done with the task. If I could find another pinwheel generator, that would help a lot. I don't know what you mean. I mean, you have something better than this? I don't know how you would make something out of one corner. I don't know how you would make a pinwheel faster than this. If you could find half a pinwheel, that would save so much time. I'm going to copy this. This is my pinwheel factory right here. I'm going to copy this and find a... I mean... Did you make something more efficient than this? I don't know how you would. I just don't understand how you could. This is pretty bare bones here. Every step here is mandatory. We're removing the 3 bad corners first, as quickly as we can. Yeah, I mean... Based on how these are ticking through, we can definitely make more here. Simple task. Honestly, I could double this. I'm sure it will work. I'm going to, I think. Somehow I broke it by doing that. I'm not sure why. It's because this merger stopped. because I overwrote a little bit here. I didn't move this down far enough. Damn. That's better. I'm gonna try and make sure that 2 of these go to each one. Meaning I need 8. This will open up some roads for me here. These ones in the center are kind of hard to use because of that. I think what I'm gonna do is split this one. It's got 4 on it. Okay, now I have 8 lanes coming down here, but 2 of those are getting used. Okay, so this one's free. I need 1 more somehow. Let's just do that. It'll work out. I don't think that extraction's gonna be the problem, but I think that that's pretty close to okay. If it is the problem, like it looks like it might be there, no, it's catching up. I can fix it pretty easily by sight. Let's see if this works out. I expect that they're all going to jam up. Any timeout will get rid of all your stuff. Those are cruising, man. Those are doing great. We doubled it. Doing that is pretty much filled that lane. That lane's fine. I'm gonna work on something else. These are making. I mean, that's it. These are the 2 shapes I need. These are taking forever, and I don't really want to mess with that too much. Because they're a pain in the ass. They just suck. I guess I don't need to keep making these, so I guess that I shouldn't send those in anymore by themselves. The simple version of it is done. I just need to merge more of these. Whatever works, works, right? We still have so many of these available. It's ridiculous. What the fuck am I doing with these teleporter here? I'm confused. Oh, I'm teleporting them over there, okay. That's a weird solution, but I mean, whatever. It functions, I guess. I don't know why I did it that way. Let's leave that alone. And generate more of these suckers. Nice. Shapes on accident. Accidentally making it look fancy. Love to see it. Accidental fancy is the best kind. Natural art. this is a very easy thing to make, so it should be no problem to flood in these disgusting neon checkerboards, which I do not have enough of still, so continue flooding them in. It's definitely an easy choke point to fill. If it ever slows down, I can really speed it up back here. There's no problem. Actually, the hard part is this. The pinwheel half is actually not the easiest thing in the world to make. Looks like I need to grab from here again. These I have an endless supply of. Compared to the pinwheels, they are so much easier to craft. So what about these pinwheels? It's another case of I can just copy all this and make more pretty easily. I could also paint the shapes I'm pulling in red. Okay, so once again, I just need to figure out how to optimize this nonsense, because this isn't good. Wasting 4 on it. One, two, three, 4, 5. This lane's so powerful, can be split in half. 6, 7. This one also can probably be done that way if I change a couple things here. I think I might have enough now. All the old lanes are bumping, so yeah, I definitely have enough. I don't need to split really here. I just need 4. Can I make 8? I probably can. I'm gonna paint them all red before I send them down there. And when I do that, I'm really gonna slow things down here. We got a ton of red paint here, no problem. Something goes here. I wonder if it was better to cut first and then mix. I think it was. Painting it is... This is backwards in terms of which is faster, I think, but that's okay. I'm just gonna go with it. I already built it. Screw it. We're good. These don't need merged again. What am I doing? I just need to deliver these up there. And this backwards belt. The whole factory's jammed because of that thing. There they come. Well, I mean, I need so many of those. I need 140,000 of these. So it would be worth it to rebuild it probably, but what you gonna do? That's looking pretty solid, at least. Like, that's down to a couple hours now of cubes being built. Time sunk cost here. Posture check. I put that in there because I got yelled at by my doctor today. For my bad posture and my incredible... Told me I'd be a hunchback. I didn't stop it. Which isn't a great thing to hear from your doctor. So thanks for the health warning. No idea what you do in response to what. I mean, what I would do is a physical reaction that you can't see. Of actually taking a drink, possibly, or sitting up straight. It just serves as a healthy reminder to me. Thanks for spending 500 snails on my health. This lane is jacked up, and I can. What do I need to do with this? What is happening over here? I forget. We're adding a circle, a white circle with a star on it, which is. Where is that even coming from? It's down here. We're generating a crap load of those, so I'm just gonna go ahead and siphon this off because this lane is just a little bit too busy. I'm gonna siphon off 2 of these actually. That'll get that belt moving at the correct pace, I think. Overloading the belts is not usually a problem, but I can see that it is here. That might be too much. If it is, I'll cut it back again, but for the meantime, I'm going to drag these over here and merge one lane. Cool. They're sharing the teleporter. Incredible. Value. I think I'm going to pull these from somewhere else, though. Just to have a lane going to each one of these. How about that? There it goes. It seems like it's on pace. It's so... it's such a bad flood in. 6:30. It doesn't look like 6:30, but I guess it adds up. I don't know. That just doesn't seem like very many, considering I need so many. So much posture check. No, I don't need to up the cost on that. It doesn't cost me any effort to check. I mean, the answer to the question, can I get them up to 2K a minute, is yes, I certainly can. Are they... They're not... I can go ahead and split here because we are just not generating enough up top. That'll help, I think. I can see the holdup is now up top instead of down bottom. Here they come. Here comes the fellas. For a little while there, we're going to have good generation. It's going to slow down once the stock backs up. But for a little while there, we're going to shoot that number up to probably about 1,000. I kind of expected this would split up. Why is this one incapable of keeping up and these ones aren't? It appears that this one needs help. I don't know why. It's a complicated system at this point. It's kind of hard to identify exactly why sometimes. This one does need 2 lanes of pressure. I don't know why. None of the other ones seem to. If that's actually stable, pushing in 960, that's pretty good. I've got to get this upgrade, and then I have to... This is actually the next shape, the quad painter, which sounds interesting. Increasing production at this point on this line, a little tricky. There's still a couple places I could probably pull. It seems like this one even moving. Like, these aren't doing anything. These 3 can be used. So I'm going to... I'm going to cut these and see if this thing breaks or not, because there's 3 going over here for 1 merger right now. So I feel like I have 5 to spare if this breaks even, and it seems like it does. So I do have presumably 5 more merges as I could do. We don't have that kind of output up here though. I just have that many extra circles. No reason to drive 5 lanes around when we can drive 1, so let's take those 5 lanes, merge them together, send them up top, and consider trying to increase my dumbass mess by even more here. There's definitely not enough right now to do it, so I need an entire other factory for pinwheels. Again, it's always the shape, man. So let me find one of those before I do anything. Here's one. I think I've learned my lesson about painting it first. I'm not going to do that. I don't think that that's as fast as cutting it and then painting the finished shape. Let's grab all of this. This is the perfect cut. There's a lot of pinwheel down here. I think I have got it solved, honestly, with how many other generation I can get from this one place. Mixing and painting just got boosted, so that's gonna help too. What do we need? What color do these need to be? Green, I guess? No, they need to be red. Well, before I do anything else, let's fix this because the top one is the one I want. That actually creates a little bit of a problem for me because I think that's true, unfortunately, that the top one is the one I want. No, it doesn't look like it actually. Which one do I want? Which one are you? No. No. Okay, the bottom one being it is good. I think. The mergers might be in the wrong place, that's all. I should have copied the rotators before I pasted this incorrect setup on these. I'm pretty sure the bottom one is it, so... Yes. I could cram these in even more since the bottom one's correct. I could probably have moved up a lot of these, but that's alright. Clockwise, clockwise, clockwise twice, and regular. That one's ready. Did I only build 3? I guess so. Only 3. That's quite a few actually. I'm satisfied with that. It's probably okay to bring these together. Now to paint them. Yeah, I guess I shouldn't bring them together because I am gonna paint them. That'll paint 6 at a time. I should copy this one more time. This whole thing. This part's bad. We should be seeing one more set of stars coming in. One more pinwheel, yeah. Now that's gonna give me the ability to paint 8 at once. Which is... I think I'm over merging actually. I don't want this last one, do I? That's my mistake. We want to create this, and that's not what I've done. Yeah, I'm rotating too many times. I need to delete one of these, and this is wrong here. What really needs to happen is that doesn't need rotated. And that needs rotated twice. And then we generate... Let's see. No, they both need rotated once. In different directions. I'll take this from the top here. We want the bottom left and the top right. There it is. Do not want to merge. And that leaves me with the whole bunch. Delete all of this. That's not right. Why isn't that right? Okay, now it's right. Also not right. There it is. Okay, it's working now. There's some jammed in there, which makes it a little confusing. But I think I've got it fixed now on all 4 of them. I'm gonna make sure this is what we're looking for, so we're painting those red, all of them. I've got 8 of those coming in, so I need a whole lot of paint. We'll start from the top. We're going to double paint again. That's always a bit of a nuisance because of the inability to rotate this thing very well. I think what we're gonna have to do is teleport each one of these paints and wrap them back in. And that's why it's annoying. I'm gonna go ahead and feed this up there so that where do I take this here? Wait, are we not generating enough green squares? Really? Holy crap. All the things to get held up on. I'm gonna take care of that first. Screw that. We should not be having any trouble with that. I'm just gonna copy this whole thing. We can even copy the paints here. The only thing that's missing is this one line and the cubes, which there's plenty of. New upgrade, really. Hold on. I'll check that out in just a second. What upgrade could possibly be done? I took care of that. Back to work over here. There we go. I want all of these to be at tier 6. Yeah. Look at that X10, man. Yeah, the quad painter now officially just needs the ooh. We're overloading this belt here. How can I fix that? I guess it doesn't matter if I split it here, it'll be fine, right? Like, I think. Yeah, that sure solved that. We don't want it to get jammed up anywhere. I think it would be better to do it back here, though. They give me a more accurate goings ons. We're getting 1,200 of those a minute right now. So I had just gotten these coming in, and we just got cutting, rotating, and stacking upgraded to be damn near what I'm going to call the max right now. We're going to need 600,000 of these stinking things. All right. Ugh, what? Gross. I'm gonna keep these flowing in, I guess. We're gonna have to add a circle on top of this once these are done. I'm gonna let these finish before I bother with this. That'll be a simple thing. I'll worry about this last too. Just 170,000 of a pretty basic shape. I'll just really go nuts on those. Now, what was I doing? I just finished building something that hasn't been connected yet. These. Because I noticed that these green squares were dying up here, so I wanted to drag more in. I'll just finish painting them all first. It's just simpler. Let's copy this. Is that workable? Let me see. I don't think it is. Oh, for fuck's sake. Didn't want that, obviously. But this. Why did this one break? Oh, it didn't. It's just full. It's a whole different problem. What's with this red paint? Oh, I see. Is that every line? No, I'm missing two. Oh my. They're just not connected. They're fine. It worked out. I think that's everything. Looks like it. A belt joiner? Looks right to me. Oh, this one's not being used. Are we really using all of these? Wow. I was thinking I could just borrow. I'm going to see what happens if I do borrow those. Let's let these things do their own thing, and I'm going to bring these over for this new set that I just made. Okay, what we're gonna do here is I'm actually gonna bring these down here and do this again. Kind of separate them in my mind because I'm going to split the crap out of these. And in that vein, I think I'm actually going to split them here too. So we need basically 4. Hey, Scoria, thanks for the sub. Okay, this horrible contraption is ready. we want to send in the fellas here. I want to send them these ones to the top. And the other lane will go to the bottom. We'll have doubled our ridiculous neon checkerboard shape. Let's copy paste this whole dumbass mechanism. It ain't great, but it works. Wait. Where's the other line? It's down here. It's present. It's fine. Okay. This is not the place we want to feed this in, though. I guess it didn't matter, actually, where it got fit in. Those are jammed up. We no longer need horrible neon mess. That didn't increase my output. In fact, it looks like my output is slower than I recall it being, but that's probably a different problem than I think it is. This is a very busy belt. This one has room for 5. I recall that being a thing, so we can use it quite a bit. What's the solution here? Okay. How's that? Yeah, 1500, nice. Are we generating enough? Because there is a crap load on this line. I guess they connect, so it doesn't even matter. All that nonsense. But it ends up being shared anyway. These 5 on the right are not keeping pace. I don't think we have enough circles coming in. Sure feels like this is jamming. I just want to teleport this up here and just see if it helps. It's going to reduce the amount coming through here, but like it felt like this belt was just screwed up. It felt like it wasn't moving at full speed. Does that help? Same thing here. It's gonna take this over here. Probably gonna need to make more of these than I'm making, that's all. They're easy to make. They seem like they're what's missing here, and it's weird to be held up on such a basic thing. The white circles are doing fine. Is there enough of these now? No, not really. There's still room for more. It's doing fine. We need another 100,000 of those, but they're coming in at 1,300 a second, or 1,300 a minute. I wish 1,300 a second. 1,300 a minute. So like an hour of this will finish it. It's not that bad. Oh no. It's for the 3 years this score in, by the way. I don't know if I said anything about that. I was distracted by shapes. Yeah, this is garbage. This thing is wrong. That's better. Oh. The LEDs went out on that sucker. If I wanted to increase production of these, and I do, it's sinking, it's slowing down now that the backup's gone. I need more of this. The star with the checkerboard under it. Feels like there was a time when I was making enough of these. But I can tell that that belt's not full, so, you know, step one is to fill that belt completely. Which means more merging down here. It seems to me that we're not pulling in enough of these fellas. I'm gonna divert this path. Let the flooding commence. It looks like we actually do just need more circles here. Surprisingly, they're just not coming in fast enough. Somehow. It's weird a little bit. This machine's not working. Maybe that's part of why. Why isn't it? There it goes. They're so unevenly distributed. It sucks. Maybe when this fills up, I want to see if this overflows or not, because this is where the white circles come from. Yeah, it's working. That's more like it. Look at that. Handsome. Handsome shapes. 90k to go. I'm just gonna merge. Can I make more white circles? I'm gonna just make another whole white circles and merger. White and red circle maker somewhere else, completely somewhere else. Let's see if I can find some white paint mix. Ugh, it's such a pain. The green is so far away from these two. We'll just start over here, I guess. It's something like that. Oh no. My lines. Yellow paint is here. Blue and circles. Ah, that's so few circles. Just, I guess I can do it with 9. Just seems like the bare minimum. Let's mix the paint first and then paint the circles and then cut the circles. I think painting them first makes more sense here because I'm slicing them and if I cut them first, I'll have to paint them all twice. But since it's different than the pinwheel situation, so I think it's gonna be better this way. White paint is here. Let me take these damn circles. Paint them and slice them. And then slice them. Bit of a confusion zone, but it works. They're out of there. Not the cleanest. Need to move this up. Why is that though? That's okay, I guess. Circles. I suppose if I'm gonna make the checkerboard ones that I don't want to paint them all white. Maybe I'll just go ahead and divide this in half. Paint these ones red. Oh, the checkerboard's kind of a pain. I've got to slice them now. And then mix them. So we actually do need the quad slice, I think. We will be using every piece of it, but we do need the dumbass quad slicer. We don't have to rotate them, like I said earlier. Rotating does slow it down. I can make my life easier by rotating them, but I don't need to, so I'm not going to. What I need to do instead is cross the lanes and merge them. Would save me a little bit of time. Like we only need to rotate the ones that are wrong, which are the bottom right and the top left. The second and fourth lanes are incorrect. They have to be rotated. The other two, though, they can just be merged the way they are. I'm clearing the buffer so I can see what the hell I've made. Okay. If I just rotate this the other direction, I could merge them right away. Yeah. Oops. No, that's right. No, it's not. What the? It looks right there. It needs rotated left. Just build merges and see what happens. It'd be easier than constantly clearing the cache out. Okay, this one's obviously wrong. Can't seem to produce this one correctly. What the? Why is that? There it goes. Honestly, I'm going to just copy and rotate this instead of using what I'm built over here, because it ain't done over here anyway. Now the only thing is, the rotators need moved. I think. Let's see if that worked. I broke a few somehow. I broke them all, really. The orientation always messes with me on these. I'm just going to put this here so I can heck and see what I've made. Okay, so we need the red to be that way. This one goes this way once. Hey, that looks good. Now I gotta merge them together. That's all. That's 4. What the? Oh, it's the wrong way, teleporter. Okay, we got 8 more checkerboards than I had. I need to send them here. What a mess. How the hell am I gonna do that? That just jammed in the center, unfortunately. The output is not in the best place. I could have merged them upwards, it would have been wiser. I could rotate them, I guess. Real quick. Screw that, I'm just gonna deliver them. Almost, but not quite. Let me pipe these in over here first, since these are they're being used actively, so having more of them will speed up everything. This one's set, at least. I can probably just merge them all into this. 4 is probably good. Damn it. Probably the same thing here. Hey Flarger, what's up? Yes, what's up? All of that being done, what does that do for me? It gives me the opportunity to pipe off a bunch of combinations up here. These are green stars and there's not enough of them. I still need those. Weird. How can there not be enough of those? Don't I have some stars that I just... Bad stars. Wasn't using? Yeah, I can just... I'm just gonna grab these. Screw it. We'll just paint these green real quick and send them over there. I'm planning on playing Mario Brothers here in a bit. Maybe. Wanted to do a run or two of the old... the 1-up quest. I'm gonna give these 2 tiles of space just to make sure that they work without any hiccups at all. I think there's room to condense them a little bit more than that, but it's fine. This will work. Green stars coming up. Where do I deliver these? Way over there. Okay. Oh, and the... That's a bit of a travel. Okay, definitely going to be teleporting those out of here. Probably not the best place to do it. This place is so busy now. Looks like I'm taking them in the wrong direction. Okay, yep, we just drag them the whole way. Still not far enough. There it is. Here comes the stars. Those are overloaded now for sure. No more need for that. There they go. Watch this get populated. Looks like if I really want to populate it, I might need to actually use the second lane here instead of connecting them both like I did. Man, it's always wrong. Let's see what happens now. Now it's working. All of that, and I'm still at 1600. That being said, I can pull some of these now because this lane up here is doing great. Nice. Shape. It's a pretty inefficient place to cut it, and I can see it's causing problems. So where can I slice it instead? This thing is jamming up on these here. You can probably do this. I've slowed it down, not sped it up, ultimately, at the moment. I'm not sure if that's going to change on its own here. I've slowed it down a lot, actually. That needs repaired somehow. Lost 300 pieces a second. I don't know why. I think we need, I need to just make another lane at this point, because, yeah, this is jammed up. So that part at least can be fixed. It's surprising that that's slowing down when that's true. So I think it's just reading wrong. I just need to give us a minute to figure out what it's actually doing. Let's remove this. See where we stand here. Oh, probably Mario Brothers or something easy is what I would do with Scottish game, unless I want to play DuckTales. I mean, what else is it? Whatever. I'm not really playing any games specifically. Is there any Highlander games that are just the worst. I would love to play something like that. We got this jammed up top because there's not enough pressure up there anymore because I took away the pressure down bottom. It's at this point that it really starts to break. I did increase it by 300 actually. In the end, it finally went up to any bottleneck that I alleviate is going to make it better. I think I should just have this driving here. Yeah, there are plenty of mods for Warband. I don't know about Bannerlord. Yeah, this is gonna finish on its own here. We're at 1800 or 1900, something like that. At this point, that's not too bad. Looks like I was generating so many of these circles, so if I just need more, then that's just a matter of like, am I delivering both of these to the left side? Yeah, that's an issue. That's gotta change. Maybe that'll help balance this up some. I feel like I have plenty of resources and they're just not being evenly distributed here, and I think if I just fix that, we'll be at 2000 a minute. Probably. Like, it keeps going back and forth between 1600 and 2000-ish. At this point, both of these lines are jammed. So it's not these, really, that are slowing me down. Is that a real game? Playing a game like that will give me time to discuss the TV show. The incredibly bad TV show. Just generic 90s action TV show about Highlanders that sucks. Soap opera Highlander. I'll have to pick that up. I don't think I have that one. It's looking like that's both of those events look like they're locked. I knew they would be eventually, but they're coming in pretty quick. Those are pretty big numbers. I wasn't sure what a good number would be. When you have anywhere between 100 minimum to 500 people watching you, based on what day of the week it is, it's hard to measure how many channel points are going to get used without a reference. Oh, that's too bad. The animated series won't be as interesting. Did I get the upgrade that was due? Yeah, I did. So I guess we're just gonna keep going until this is done now. I'm not gonna change anything here. Is the game just... Is this the final upgrade? Tier 7? Is that it? I mean, it looks like that's the end of the game based on that they're all the same shape now. Is there nothing left to do after that? Have I won? You know, with the speed run this whole game thing. Actually, let me see how long it's taken. Because I can estimate how much game there is here, if that is the end. 17 hours, so we're looking at like 20, 25 hours. If you're fast, 15. I bet. Bet you could knock it down pretty low. Bet you could knock it below 10, honestly. I wasn't exactly cruising at the start of this. Bet you could really speed this up to below 10 hours to beat the whole thing if you were really good at this. Well, the show was probably successful. It went on for like 10 seasons. That doesn't mean it was good, but it certainly made money, so in that vein, it was good. You don't get 10 seasons of a show without it being called a success. I don't like the choppy way that this gets mixed in. I'm gonna teleport it out of here. Going to teleport it out of here. Same thing here. Like, I don't like the way these are getting mixed in. They don't seem like they're going in very cleanly. Now they are. Like, I feel like the belt is at its upper limit. So I'm going to take these two. And the belt's going to dry up in the meantime while I port these over. Yeah. It still doesn't seem like I'm just gonna drag it up here and screw it into the balancer. That'll be the best way probably to do it. Like my hub. It's busier than it's ever been since I've reproduced it. I mean, it's busier than it's ever been, period. Let's be real, these numbers have increased, not anything else, but yeah. I spent some small amount of time syncing up these belts to be counterclockwise together. Which I probably should have actually made these two clockwise and these counterclockwise, because these are not. These are going counterclockwise and clockwise, respectively. But the belts are so fast you can't tell anymore. How are we doing? Did I increase the output ultimately? Didn't quite make 2K, but it's certainly up there. I'm gonna do one last merge that is just a nonsensical merge, but I don't think it can hurt me to do it. I think that no matter what, it's going to produce, like, this is a really bad split. but I think doing this is going to increase the number, not decrease it. So it's really easy to do it, so why not? We'll see if it hurts me, if it jams something up, but I don't think it will. I think it's gonna reduce some of the excess. Like, it's working at like a little bit past 100%, and so it's just getting backed up a little bit, and I think I can just cut some of that off, and there is no way that that can harm me by doing that. I think it can only help me. We brought it to 2100, so that actually is significant, but if it runs out, that will change, I guess. Doesn't look like it's going to. It looks like that was pure excess, so it was way more than 100%. We dumped into that one belt. Up here's where it's slowing down a bit. Is that because of this? I mean, it might be a chain reaction from the load gets increased here, so this part here starts filtering more, and ultimately we'll leave this drying up, so it's not going to stay at 2100 the way it is now. What I've done there is not okay. If we can jam this belt up like I am, then the top belts will start jamming up as well. Then we'll see where we stand. It's starting to. That's working. See why it's piling up on lane 3 here. But down here, it's not anymore. What does that leave us with number-wise? Yeah, this is a pretty mean cut. No doubt about that. How about that? That's a better cut. This gives 25 and 50 to each one of these. 50 to the bottom and 25 to the other two. That probably should be the other way around. Which I can do just by doing this. So that's 50, 25, and 25. It's amazing how jammed up it is up there and how slow it's become back here. What's going on back here? It's causing that. Man, we really could generate so many more of these. Real quick, too, just... grab this contraption. Always do that. This goes to the outside. Always mix them up. There are plenty of cubes to go around here. What happens if I turn this to just one each? Is it still enough? It still is. It's just so many cubes. I'm not multi-painting these cubes. I could double that, but I don't care about that right now. So this is all defunct, old, nearly finished technology back here. I'm not too worried about it at all. Once this shape is done anyway, it won't be very useful anymore. I don't know what the holdup was with these, but they should be better now, right? Looks like I've overgone a little bit here. I'm gonna teleport this other one up here and do the same thing as split and just have it merge with both of these suckers. Greens as far as you can see. Okay, now we're actually using all of that. If I would just be asked to quad paint or whatever, to double paint, would help me out some, I think, but it's catching up, so whatever was the problem here is no longer. It looks like whatever I've done is fixed that. These are jammed all the way back. That's good enough for me. We're gonna clear this in no time here. Just a couple more minutes and this is over. The hell task of shapes. Looks like I'm not gonna play Mario Brothers after all. I was too busy with shapes. Nice. I'm just gonna chill for a minute while that fills up. Stretch, hydrate. Look at this ridiculous thing. That's pretty neat. Not gonna lie. Paint two shapes the same color or all of the quadrants of a shape. One big color. What do they want now? They want this ridiculous thing, which I don't know how to make. So I guess we're stuck. Free play unlock. Okay. I don't know how to make this thing, but we're gonna need so many of these dumbass things. Well, this is the priority, getting the painting and mixing maxed out, and then we'll worry about this horrible shape that I need to, I'll probably delete everything when I get to this, because why wouldn't I? The only thing I would even think about keeping is the white mixing paint. Or just keeping stuff as a layout for reference to copy from. But I certainly will break all the connections, why shouldn't I? I guess I can leave it, I mean, why not? But, I'll probably go to an entirely different area up top and just start fresh on this weird shape. I don't know how to make it. They didn't tell me for some reason. They didn't tell me how to do this yet. I guess they're not going to. They're just not going to tell me how to make this. I don't understand how that's done. Because this thing is the same. The stacking and merging and stuff is... If they can't be merged... Can I put a tiny cube on top? Like, I think what I need to do is... It's not just this cube. This cube needs to be connected to one other cube or something, so that it can be tiny and placed on top of something that has no bottom left quadrant, and then I can slice the bottom left quadrant away. Let me see if that works, I guess. Don't really need the big slicer for the second part of this. Okay, let's see if these merge the way I think they might. No, what we need to do is, merge these two and then merge it. No, it's backwards, I guess. Sucked. This doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but I guess in some weird way it will if this is the way this is done. Okay, there's the tiny cube. So now, theoretically, we can grab that part by itself, maybe. It doesn't look like it worked. I would say that it did not. No, it did not. Like, this is definitely tiny, but then when it gets up here, it didn't do it. That doesn't make any sense, because the small cube is isolated, so... This is bad. They should have told me how to do this instead of trying to make me figure out their weird science. This puzzle doesn't make any logical sense anymore. I can keep it I can merge it with something else, but once I've done that, I've already solved the problem of it being tinier than everything else and connected to this. Let me... I am going to use the big cutter on this. One of these is bad. It's this one. I suppose now if I use the quad cutter again, I'll have a piece of this disaster. Not the quad cutter, but the regular cutter. And it needs to be rotated the right way. Maybe I need to go ahead and blend the white circle in here. Let's see if I can make the shape first. Let me grab some circles. Of course, now circles are missing. All right. We'll deal with this later. I just want to grab this for now. Just give me the two pieces I need for the moment here, which is top and bottom right. There you go. Butthead. Eventually, we'll get there. I can certainly paint this white if this is all I have to do, if this works. I think we're getting there. I think I had that much in reserve still. Really? Seems unlikely. Hey, why are there two? Oh, that's why. I don't want this one. What am I doing here? This is the complicated part. I lost my train of thought. Yeah, I know it is. I'm still in the same position where I don't know how to shrink this fucking cube. This damn rectangle. It doesn't make any sense, and I keep losing the weird science I was trying to do to make it work. To keep it on the top layer without having it attached to anything. See if this thing works here. Okay, so this pain in the ass seems to be functioning. That's half of it. So the other bit works now. This disaster is what they were looking for, and it sucks. It's just not fun at all. And I'm gonna have to make a billion of them. I need a literal million of this dumbass shape. It's so complicated and messy to create. With that half done, the other half's easy. It's just one of these in a square. Finished. That's all there is. This is the left half, and painting it's not an issue. I need to paint the circle white before it connects, and then that's it's half done. The problem is ready. This is it. So this nightmare is what they want. So it's something like this gets applied and then sliced after it's applied. I think the most efficient way to do this would be to paint the circle white first of all before I even get started. Cut it in quarters, combine it with a right half of a rectangle, a square, and that's the part that gets cut away. Give me one of these, please. Come on. just want to see if I can build the shape. I'll worry about this next time I play. I'll have a reference to work with. I've got it also. Painting, it's no problem. This is the dumbass thing. That's it. So, yeah. Worst case scenario, I can copy all of this and paste it, but that sucks. It's the lousiest contraption. All I have to do is paint the circles white before I do any of this, and it will be done. We'll have made one. That's no problem. It doesn't really affect any of this merging nonsense. That's what they want. They want 8 billion of those. They want actually... What do they want? 850,000 is what they want. I imagine, of those. Seems like a steep number. How about one? Just one. Well, we're done with this nightmare of a shape at the moment. I can start working on something else, but I'll do that next time I play. We need pink squares, white circles. I need to complicate this even more. It'll be easy to do that. 4 stack on that. No, I need 250,000 here for this. I wonder if it's faster to spend the money or to sit on it until 250k is accumulated. Pink squares, white circles. Why aren't those made already? Well, I think I'd be a fool to not use this shape and just, you know, add a white circle on top of it. That shouldn't be too bad. But I'll save that for next time. We have this whole factory up here. We're producing yellow circles already, so if I just add a layer of paint to that, we'll have produced everything I need. I don't know what the heck free play means. Can I just start a new game with everything unlocked? Because that sounds fun. We still in the tutorial. Yeah, that seems likely what my solution is going to be. Is going to be to tear this down. We no longer need any of this. I think it's finished. So these stars deleted, all of this deleted. Just grab the circles, paint them white instead of whatever I've been doing with them, and I even have a whole bunch of white paint mixed right here. So white circles for next time. I don't need those other locations. Hey, thanks for joining me, everybody. Sorry for the lack of brothers on Mario time. Easy to lose a couple hours to this game here. But I built the monster. So it's just a matter of time till I win. Wasn't that complicated, it just kind of sucks. It's just painful for no reason to do it. I mean, it technically makes sense in some weird way. Because we're dropping it on top of something, and if there's nothing to hold it on top, it will just fall through. But, I hate doing it. Let's see if I can't, fix my Twitch latency here. But I do have somebody else to build. I'll be on tonight doing something. I don't know what. We'll see, I guess. Somebody playing random Commodore 64 games. That sounds like something. See you later. I'm hosting that.